The Innova Rollo, which dropped I believe last year, is arguably one of the flippiest mid-ranges ever, but also one of the most fun discs of all time. Like the name Rollo suggests, it's a pretty easy disc to get to roll, just like this. But because it's so flippy, you can also pipe some gaps with it, feeling like you're not throwing with any power at all, like this. Oof. And at the same time, if you want to really lay into it and get the right angle, you can throw some absolutely ridiculous shots, like this. This thing went 386. Some people are going to say that the Rollo is too flippy, especially if there's any wind or if you throw with off-axis torque, which when the disc comes out of your hand, it's wobbling a little bit. And so far, the Rollo has only come in Star Plastic, Classic, Innova's most basic premium plastic, DX plastic, the X is for extra classic, but this is a base plastic and typically makes things a little bit more flippy, and glow. And if you don't call this one the Glow-Low, you're wrong. If you're newer to disc golf, it's kind of crazy that the same disc in different plastics can actually fly in different ways. For instance, the Star Plastic is going to be your typical Rollo. DX, which is Innova's more base plastic, not a premium plastic, they'll typically be a little bit more understable, and typically glows are a little bit more overstable as well. See how that one kind of wanted to turn right way faster than the first one? And then you see how that one, also compared to the first one, wanted to turn right a little bit less. But if you've ever thrown an Innova disc, you know that there's one plastic that rules them all, Halo. And we finally got a Halo Rollo babe. No, Halo doesn't really work as much as Glow-Low. We finally got a Halo Rollo baby. I'm giving it one throw before we get out on the course. A little slippy. Might be similar to the Glow-Low, but we'll find that out. I will say, even with the slip job, this one did go the farthest, because typically, the reason people love Halo plastic is a little bit more durability. Sometimes it has a little more dome, which this one does seem to have, and then you get a little more torque resistance and overstability. Especially since Innova gives this disc the flight numbers of 5, 6, -4, 1. Something as flippy as this DX one is gonna be pretty uncontrollable. Still fun to try to master, but this one might be a little more useful for a lot of people. And we're gonna find that out today, because today we're at Owl's Den Disc Golf Course, my favorite local course here in Denver, and this back nine is probably the hardest 9-hole stretch in the Denver area. And we're gonna play it with just the Halo Rollo. And we have 3 main goals, besides just comparing it to the other Rollos and seeing how those fly differently in case you've thrown one of the other classics of Rollos before. The first objective is to introduce you to Big Tony and make sure that he doesn't bogey. I'm still allowed to putt for him, but you guys kind of voted and Big Tony might be here to stay. Goal number 2 is to birdie one of the tunnel shot holes. 15, 16, and 17 are all tunnel shots, but if we can birdie one of those, we'll complete goal number 2. And goal number 3, pretty simple, shoot under par on the back 9. Even doesn't count, under par, I'm gonna have to give one of these bad boys away. And if you don't win that, but you wanna snag one for yourself, they'll be linked down below on infinitedisc.com, along with my signature discs. First hole, the back 9, 2 off the top, of course. We're going 631 feet, par 4. Want to throw this way and then around the corner. We're gonna have to do some funky stuff with these discs because they don't like to stay on hyzer very much. And I need some shots that are moving right to left on my backhand. Little cotton candy first, my favorite colorway. Whoa, that's way more overstable. Is this like a usable Rollo? What the heck? Okay, what the heck? Okay, it is a tailwind. But that like didn't flip over hard. And I think that's like close to my typical landing zone, about 4-ish, 420 down there. We might get this comparison out of the way right here. Here's the DX. Way flippier, but that's to be expected. Oh, it's still coming out of it though. Wow, I made the double mando. Here is the Star. That one also flips faster, but has more stability than the DX. And now the Glow-Low. Oh yeah, interesting. Maybe I didn't throw them right, so I'll definitely compare them again. I will have to keep us moving pretty fast because we're playing a little sunset round. Because honestly, I got these discs right before I jetted out here. They got delivered and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to film with these. But first impressions on those throws is that the Halo is gonna have a gentler flip up and turn. The other one's like flip fast and go. But I was kind of surprised that the Star and the Glow-Low kind of got back to overstability. We'll compare them a couple more times. Just know all these going to be insanely flippy. they're all just really flippy. If you are very new to the game and you're maybe like not even throwing 250 plus, you might be able to start seeing more differences between them all, but they'll all still, I think, be totally useful for you, and I think Big Tony will show that as well. The most crazy thing about these discs to me is how they're all still pretty useful. The Star one is putting from 20 feet on the normal hole, which I think is like 400 or 410 down the hill in a tailwind. But okay, we're going cotton candy. Trust that it's a little more stable. Flip it up and make it ride straight on just a little bit of wrist pop. Oh, that's so smooth. Oh, that's putting for birdie, baby. There's like a category of disc that is my favorite, which are the ones that I'm not going to throw in tournament all that often, or even if I do, they're just discs that every time you throw them, they put a smile on your face. I will say, they're a little less smiley discs than the normal Rollos, because these ones, I think they do have a little more hook on. We'll have to figure that out over the next couple holes. Oh, we're also a little short. They feel a little more overstable if you can feel this and feel stabilities. And beyond just feeling more overstable, I think they actually are. Oh no. Oh, that's not what you like to see. I have to birdie one of the tunnel holes anyways. No big deal. I do think we are gonna sneak around real fast and skip this next hole. There's a group of 3 there and who aren't playing super fast, so if we can skip around to this next par 4, which I think is almost par at best. It's 720 feet, and I play the road as OB, and I'm definitely doing that with the Rollo. It forces me to control the shot much better. Birding a hole definitely adds some difficulty to this. We're gonna stick with cotton candy. It's just too pretty. I typically play like a big over the top flex, and I honestly think if I throw it enough hyzer, I still can try to do that. So maybe a little too aggressive, but hyzer flip it a little crazy. Oh, that's so good. If it stays up. Oh, that disc is psycho. Okay, got smacked down, but I still feel like I had to soft that. And that is the easiest little flip up and turn on that line I wanted. But then the Rollo remembered that it was a mid-range and it's not just gonna like push really far. It really does seem like you could probably close to classify it as a 6-speed, but it kind of is in a class of its own. I've reviewed over on my second channel called Banana Froth, where I just do unhinged reviews, unboxing, and some other fun stuff. I reviewed the Rollo against the Paradox, which is 5.6 -40 from MVP Axiom with the Axiom disc. And it was way more overstable, kind of, than the Rollo. It was more so that it just drifted on the line and never really came back at all, but it was also way more gentler of a disc. And I think that this is kind of the Rollo version of that, but because of how bladed that rim was, as you saw during the intro sequences, the Rollo does have a decent bit of like fade and come back after it loses speed, whereas something like a Paradox, which is just very rounded over, it's not really gonna come back because it doesn't have like that bladed side, which is why this may be closer to a 6-speed. That being said, we're gonna throw this guy and try to actually roll it. Oh, that is not good grass to try to roll that. Ew. Oh, that's pretty dirty. Oh, why didn't I do that? Okay, that is good to know. I still didn't really throw that super crazy power, but it did the Rollo thing where you start out on this much hyzer and it flips up to flat. And instead of just stopping at flat like most other mid-ranges or like even flippy disc will, from that much hyzer, it still turns a bit. So that's a win. I actually really like the angle on my roller, but I just forgot the kind of grass I was playing in. One of these shrubberies. And you know what? We're gonna do all the crazy things. We threw big backhand over the top with the Rollo. Then we tried a roller, and now we're gonna forehand it. Also, I think the stamps are the cutest stamps because they're all just little pangolins. Like, look at that guy. And then look at this guy. This one's a little bit more aggressive, which makes sense. It's a little flippier, a little more overstable, but oh, it's got some hookup. See what that would look like with the regular Star. Similar. What I've noticed in throwing back-to-back so far, the Halos and the other ones, are that I think the Halos, they feel slightly deeper, and I think that's because the dome is a little popped up. And so that makes them feel deeper because, I mean, if you have a flat disc versus one that has dome, your fingers have to travel a little higher to reach the flight plate on the bottom side. Also, this was a little short. But what dome does on discs is it lessens the left to right movement. And I think that's why on those first throws, I saw all 3 of the ones that were not the Halos flipped up really fast and then got stable a little faster, whereas these took a little more time to do that. Even through 2, cannot complain with the Rollo. This might be the most forehandable Rollo yet. And if you can forehand these, you're like a certified forehand genius. And to be honest with you, a certified forehand genius is something that I want to be. So I think we're gonna try that on this hole. You know, if I don't hit that, it's not terrible, but I parked the short position. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, that's money. Why didn't I do that? Wow, I think they're a decent bit more overstable. See how the glow looks on that line. Oh, that's kind of smooth, actually. Oh, I'm pretty sure I can just give stability ratings already. And that's gonna be halo at the top, very closely followed by the glow. And then maybe 2 steps down is the star. And then 2 steps down from that is the DX. A couple pretty close ones at the top, which makes sense from a glow and a halo plastic. But I will say fun rating, you might have a better time going star or flippier, because the halos, they're acting more like normal discs, which is cool. But a part of the reason I love the Rollo is because it's a little bit of a psycho boy. Just to keep the pace moving, we'll just flick this in. Nice and easy. Oh, dang. These landing on top of each other, basically. So, pretty similar. Whew, that was close. Even par, and we have to keep it that way because I have somebody I want you to meet. What's going on, you jabronis? It's Big Tony. Banana Boy over there told me that I got 2 shots, 2 off the top. I heard you guys voted me on the channel. Said you gotta call the lefty Big Tone. With an E. We got 245 to the basket. Good thing the Rollo's the only thing I can turn over. I don't know where this accent's coming and going, but it'll be here to stay. Oh, look at that Big Tony. You're gonna get the only bird for Anthony? Oh my gosh. Just a park job with the first Rollo ever? Big Tone, the jabron's got it going on. Oh baby, laser beam. Easy flyer. Look, here's the thing. I thought Anthony was trying to make fun of me a little bit by going out and doing that silly lefty video. Went to Johnny Roberts. Didn't even show you any good shots. The man shot 5 over par at the easiest course around. What do you think he is? So, you guys voted. You said, bring on Big Tony to the channel. And let him show you how it's done. And I feel like I showed you that with the first park job of the day. The shades in the sunset might have given me some bad depth perception. I think we can drain this one. I'm pretty sure I parked it and then just rolled down the hill. It is a Rollo, and I didn't roll it, so had to roll at some point, you know? Nice, easy lefty. I mean, normal. What are you talking about? This is normal for me. Still gotta work on the putter. At least we didn't bogey. Didn't even make Anthony come putt that one, though. So, pleasure to meet y'all. Probably won't be around for the rest of this video, but you might see me again here soon if that Banana Boy's deciding to review any more flippy plastic. If y'all really want me back, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's the Big Tony Show now. Are you guys okay? I hope that didn't alarm you too much, but you gotta admire the confidence of a man who has never made a putt outside of 5 feet and thinks that he can just drill it from 30 up a hill. Third won't look good, and maybe I'll just give him some Rollos to putt with, but that being said, we're on to the gauntlet of the tunnel shots. We gotta birdie this one or 17. Realistically, 16, such a hard birdie. So if we can get this one, which is a tunnel shot, moving left to right, so a lot of hyzer, get it to stand up and stay on it, or 17, get the par 4. I'm just happy Big Tony came through. First try, got the par. We'll just flip this guy up there, cotton candy, right through the tunnel. No! Go, 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 go! Oh, it's such a glidey disc, holy cow. Oh, it's so glidey and good. I almost wonder if I can go on this left side with how flippy this is. The answer is no. The answer is no. They're like a useful, very flippy disc compared to like the utility flip and the funness of the other one. It is nice that they still have crazy, crazy glide. These might even have better glide than the other ones, but I think glide gets traded for understability, so it's not as understable as the other Rollos are, but it is a little glidier. And I think for most people who are like, oh, the Rollo is just too hard to figure out, which I agree. It's a really tricky disc to figure out. But for me, that's part of the fun, because it's just like one of those, puts a smile on my face, I get to go mess around with the discs. These are a little less fun for me overall, but I would use them more. And also, you can't really argue with the park job here. Finally got the birdie, so 1 down, no bogeys, goal 2 complete. We do have to get through 16 though, because this one, very bogeyable. I think more people are gonna actually enjoy throwing these, even though I enjoy throwing them a little bit less. That's probably just because I'm a little bit like masochistic. Is that the word for when you hate yourself? I don't know, but a part of me has so much fun with the other crazy ones that I feel like I can never really fully figure out, because when you get it right, it's just the most insane shot ever. You throw it here, and it flips up and turns over past the basket, and you're like, how the heck did I just do that? But if you're looking for a useful training tool, these are more of them. Hello, grain. We're going straight ahead, 346. Cotton candy, of course. A lot of hyzer. The tree that's in the middle of the gap before the basket, there's another gap about 60 feet past it, so we need to go, I think, hyzer, flip it around the left side of that tree and have it turn, so hit it pretty hard. What the? See, like, that's great. That's so nice. And it's flipping up the whole way. But it's just not a Rollo flight to me. Like that one. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I parked it. No, I did it. It's too flippy. Like, that's the difference, I think. I felt like I threw the same shots there, which also 2 pretty decent shots back to back. I'm gonna try the Rollo as well. Okay, a little shankopotamus, but it flipped up faster than the Halo. But that star Rollo, I think because maybe a little less dome, maybe a little less overstability, a little less torque resistance, you hit it that hard, it pushed to the left, flipped up through the gap, and turned to the right, and kept turning to the right, whereas the Halo was just getting past flat, which is for sure nice. And like still very, very flippy for a mid-range, because I threw them on so much hyzer. But personally, I'm looking for that psycho flip. This disc does love getting really lucky kicks. Oh my God, I'm inside the circle with the other Rollo. What the heck? Not that much though. Oh no. Oh, why did I do that? I have to make that putt. Oh gosh. Oh no. 345. To 20 feet. It was on hyzer towards these trees, and then it flipped up and turned over and didn't stop turning. The good news is, when it gets dark out, your depth perception gets better, and that makes putting a lot easier. Oh, no, 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 no. I need to birdie one of the last 2 now. At least we have a par 4 here. 460 up the hill, par 4. Just need to get a straight shot out there. Oh no. I did like the hyzer, didn't like the height. I guess I thought I had a little more time to get this video done after these discs got to my house. Sorry about that. I could still be in a position to get up and down. I just had to have pushed through somewhere. And this Rollo's been getting lucky. Not super lucky, but definitely lucky enough. Because it's a Rollo, you can't really start it flat. Oh, but you kind of have to. This would be such a good shot if I can make this happen right now. Oh no, it's so low. Oh, I was trying to counter skip too. I wonder if I could have rolled it, but it's pretty sandy. It rolled right next to the other one. If I have to give one of these away because of that silly little bogey that I took back there, I'm not about to be a happy camper. There definitely is something to remember about discs that are this flippy, because if I'm throwing it through that gap flat, because I know it needs to drift, you have to give it a little more nose up, because when you throw it flat, it's going to immediately want to turn and go towards the ground. But if you throw it nose up, it's going to be able to counteract that and kind of glide on it. It's a shot shape that is not always, it's not one that you super need, and it's one that Paul Macbeth is crazy good at. Just like manipulating nose angles under ceilings with flippy discs. Oh man, come on. Skipping hole 11 was not the best move for my score, because it's straight ahead like 290, and I feel like that's a relatively stock shot with these guys. So it all comes down to 18. Oh my gosh, I just realized I have the perfect Big Tony music. Hopefully you heard it, but I just remembered my music catalog that I downloaded. Daylight is crushing us, but you can see the basket through here. Oh man, 330. I think I can throw these on enough hyzer to not flip them, because they're stable enough. Oh, come out of it. Oh no, it's a Rollo. Oh, that's a long putt. I thought I threw that soft enough to not have that happen, and it very much happened. It's too dark for this. Can we just call it good? Where the heck did it go? I'm so confused. Maybe this means it's closer than I thought. It could be. It very well could be. Oh my gosh, what the heck? It went so far. About all the grain my camera can get, so you can get just enough light to see the basket. You can see the basket significantly better than I can. But all I need is a little hint of it, and we can drain it with the marble. Oh, I thought I made it. I guess I need better depth perception. Shoot! Not gonna lie, didn't really think the Rollo would be an absolutely ridiculously crazy thing to review, but it it is a little bit more overstable, and these new Halos are just so fun. If you're doing a snag one, head over to Infinite Discs. But we're gonna run the giveaway a little different here. Actually, even more different than that. I am just gonna give the white and blue Rollo to Greg, Arctic Cats Disc Golf. Been a big supporter of the channel for a while. Let me borrow a couple of his Rollos. I don't think he's got his hands on a Halo one yet, so we're just gonna give it to him as a big thank you. Don't worry, plenty more giveaways to come. I'll lose more challenges. Oh man, I might have to bring back the Rolloligans for Silly Saturdays, but hopefully you enjoyed meeting Big Tony. You guys are the best. Sorry I ran out of daylight on this one, and that's on me being a little bit of a silly boy. You guys are the best, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably, maybe my baby's here. Who knows? I definitely don't. Everything's crazy. You're the best. Bye.